Hello, everybody. Welcome to Best Whole New World. And right now we are graced with the presence of Beloved, who is going to share Journey to Awakening. Hi,
Hey, sweetie, how are you?
Beloved.
Thank you for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
It's so awesome for you to be here. I'm so excited about this because I just feeling like awakening, being awakened is what it's all about. And it's time to, those little snowball things that used to shake up and have, I think that's what's going on in the world now. And it's like, okay, just let it all be and see how it is.
Oh my gosh. It's so jumbled right now. There's so much chaos right now. But we can move through that. It's part of the revamping. It's part of it. It has to happen.
Mhm.
It has to happen for us to move through. And for those of us that chose to be here and be part of this process, be part of this upliftment, we can do this. I know we can.
Absolutely. I just think it's already, I personally feel it's already been done.
Yes, in the other realms it has.
Everything has already been done. It's
Yes.
like the play has been written
Yes.
and we are just acting it out now. We're on like slow motion for what's already occurred. And when you're aware of that, you just realize, oh, I might as well go for the ride.
I know. Isn't that true? That's really, really true. What I would like to do today, um, I would like to play one of my bowls and kind of bring us in because I think our time together is sacred space. And I would like to just bring those beautiful energies in. Would that be good?
Awesome. I'm already feeling the presence.
Perfect. Let me just reach over here. Whoa. This bowl, can you see her?
Hmm?
I call her Big Mama. And she's made of imperial topaz.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Can you just hold you just 1 minute? There's something on the stove.
Oh, I love it. So Big Mama, imperial topaz, she is tuned to the high heart. And that's the heart of the new earth. So I invite each of you, if you're not driving or operating heavy equipment
Or cooking.
or cooking, it smells really good.
Forgot.
Anyway, I invite you to just take a moment and come into your heart. Just be in that special place. Just in your heart, your just bring your awareness to your heart. Your heart is the connection to the whole of you, to all of your being. Take a nice deep breath in. Breathe. And as you breathe, feel your heart beginning to expand, to open even more. Feel it open. Akachana Onyanina Ikitiana o kitiana o kiana. Ikitiana o nyana. Ikichi inya o kitiana o nyana o kiana. Ikitia o nyana. Ikitia o kitiana. Akacho o. And now take another deep breath. And exhale. And one more breath in. Exhale. The big sigh. And one more. Breathe in all you need for the rest of your day. Sigh out, coming back fully present to our conversation. And I'm going to put her away. Lovely. So that's one way that I reconnect, is through sound, through vibration. We are vibratory beings. It's who we are. We're energetic. And not all of us is in this. Only part of us is here. And some of us aren't really here right now. And I would be one of those. So just taking time, even those few moments, to come in and to come back to the truth of who you are, however you understand that. Now, sometimes when I play, these are gemstone alchemy crystal bowls that I use, and I'm a bowl master and sound alchemist. So the bowls that I use, these gemstone bowls, have the properties not just of the crystal, but of the gems. And like I said, this one is imperial topaz, and it's tuned to the high heart, the heart of the new earth. I think that one of the things that's so interesting as we move to the new earth and we move from our heart to our high heart, I think of the thymus gland, the thymus chakra, which many people aren't aware of. No. So I invite each of you that are listening to just bring your hand to your thymus and just touch that. This is your power point. Yes. If you look at many native people will wear a turquoise right here. And it's a way of maintaining their empowerment and maintaining. But the neat thing about the thymus as a chakra, as an energy point, is this is community. So we've moved to community. So when we're awakening and we're awakening our energetic system, and we look at our chakras, beginning from the root, and the root chakras at underneath, at the base of your spine, and it's red. It glows with a beautiful red, and that's about material things and connecting to the earth. Those are your old messages also. So many people that get caught are caught in the root. That's where they are. And then we move up to the sacral, the second chakra, which is orange, and it's the place of creativity. It's the place of birthing. It's the place of sexuality. It's a beautiful place. And then we have the solar plexus, which glows yellow, and that's the place of our empowerment on this earth. It's the place of our confidence. It's the place of all of that. So if you imagine there's a triangle, and I call this the lower triangle, which is the lower 3 chakras, and they have to do with earth. They have to do with earth. And then the heart, our beautiful heart, that's the connector. That's the connector of everything. And it glows with a brilliant green. And it's the place of love and forgiveness and healing. And then we now have the thymus, which is turquoise. And it's the place of community. How amazing that we have activated in this lifetime, in our energetic system, community, because we are all one. And that's part of what we're awakening to, is our oneness, our connectedness. Next, is the throat. And the throat is blue. And the throat is about truth. It's about speaking your truth. It's about hearing your truth. And it's connected to your ears. Now look at this. This is the angelic triangle right here. Isn't that cool? So that's bringing the angels in also. I know.
And their wings. No.
Their wings. And then, of course, the third eye. This is all knowing. This is where it comes in. Just really interesting, because so many people feel their knowingness in their gut, right? Right here. Well, that's the connection, because it's all connected. So this glows with an indigo, blue violet. And this is like a screen, Yogananda has us breathe in through the back, the occipital, and it goes right through the third eye. And then we have the crown. Yep. And the crown is all about our higher being, our higher conscious. And it usually is a violet. And of course, then we have the higher chakras. But what I think, again, is so incredible in this timing is that the thymus chakra has been opened, has been activated. So I think a lot of what's happening on the planet right now that we see happening and that we experience is this sense of community. And it's like people ask me, I believe in the Bible there's something that says, am I my brother's keeper? Yes. Yes. And your sister's keeper too.
Yep.
We're responsible to one another. So I think, again, what's happening on the planet now is we're opening to that. We're opening to that oneness, to that community. And these are our higher chakras, the upper triangle. But when these are activated, when these are in energetic coherence, they flow through what belongs to Earth. That's how we manifest. That's how we live. That's how we react to one another. But if the thymus is opening and if it's in the upper triangle, there's a lot of, figuring it out. How is this going to fit as it comes down under the earth? And that's what I think we're seeing right now. We know that we're open, like you said before, right? It's all done. We're just playing it out. So how are we going to be connected to one another? How are we going to be community to one another? And
well, I'd like to ask you this,
Yep.
Okay, because I would experience, so an observation I would have is that over, let's say, the past 2 decades, You have had many people that would say they're spiritual beings, right?
Yes.
And they were very much, as far as I'm concerned, and I was one of them, you know, in that sense of being up here and totally separate from being grounded in their body and what was going on in the world. And then you had the other part, which I'd played too, being so grounded in here, there was nothing beyond, you know, money and that world. And the coming together in the space is what's going on. And in the process, I feel that this people that were all up here still were attached to the kumbayas of how oneness was to occur. And some of that was manifested in their idea of, for instance, in the States, of Hillary Clinton becoming president, right? And that ability to surrender to the heart and to be present is where this and this come together with zero judgment, because we all are one.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. And we saw so much of it, you know, and like you said, politically, you know, we saw so much of coming in, and yet we've been vicious. I mean, absolutely vicious. And I think we're figuring it out. It's like our mundane self, and I'm going to use the phrase our higher self, but we know it's not linear.
Right.
So we could say our spirit, our soul, which is, you know, what I always say, we're on a journey to awakening. The soul's journey is what it is. So it's coming together, and it's coming in, and how do we do it in the mundane world? And I think we have many opportunities to do that. I mean, look what's gone on this weekend, if I may, in the US. And I'm in the US. We have, wait, may I?
Is it all good news? Is it good news? It needs to be framed in just good news. Okay.
Yes. It's interesting because it's an opportunity. You know, we have an opportunity to come together.
Come together right now. Over me. Okay, continue.
So I think we are having many opportunities to come together, to support one another, even in our differences, you know, like weather. You know, we've had storms. We've had these storms. And when we have these, and when we have things that people call natural disasters,
right, I
see them as opportunities for light and for coming together.
Absolutely.
In a couple of different ways. I mean, when something happens on planet, it often happens in a place where there has been discord. And then when something happens, the focus changes and our hearts open, and we are blessing this place. We are blessing these people. We move from the anger, the differences, and we see the similarities. We're touched in our hearts. We've just, you know, I'm back in Florida right now, and we've just gone through a couple of storms, and we made it through. There are some places in Florida that are experiencing more difficulties than others. But then we have places like the islands, Puerto Rico, the British Virgin Islands, Texas. We have all of this where people, regardless of differences, similarities, politics, races, it doesn't matter. there's a need. So what happens? We come together, and we come together to support one another. Mm-hmm. We come together with blessings. We come together with dollars. Mm-hmm. We come together. And I think that's why I call them opportunities. You know, I look forward to the time where we don't require the opportunities, where we just automatically treat one another with respect and honor.
Mm-hmm. So, and I so agree with you, because I feel like if we're aligned with our truth, we're authentically being ourselves, and you look in the eyes of anyone and they'll want peace, and they want love, and they want joy, and then that is the truth of existence. And when you stay tapped into that truth, your life unfolds accordingly. But if you are still allowing the habits and the patterns and the conditionings from past hypnosis almost of how one's life is supposed to be led, and that money is really the thing that is how you're dictated of where you're supposed to get a job or what you're supposed to do, you lose sight into what your inner guidance is saying. And so you do have these opportunities that are karmic. I feel it's the earth is karmically responding to all the energy that we've put out there, and to come back and say, you know what, you're still not listening.
Absolutely.
So are you going to listen now? And what's amazing to me sometimes is we have these, and they happen all over the world, right? It's continual. Like, we had something in Canada last year, it was last spring, up in Alberta. It's a Fort McMurray it's like a town that was built basically around the oils field sort of thing but also cut out a town in the middle of the forest, in a sense, to support the oil. And well, when there was forest fires for eons that went on and went on. 70,000 people were evacuated, and their homes were pretty much all destroyed. But there was just, the thing is I think there was one death. Everybody managed. There was only 2-lane highway to get out of there, just like leaving Florida almost. There's more than 2 lanes in Florida, but everybody got evacuated in that sense. And yes, they lost their homes, they lost their possessions, etc. But they had their life, and they got now to have a clean slate to choose, how do you want to live your life going forward?
Exactly. And, we're so blessed to live in this time of technology, so that we do know ahead of time what's coming, and we can move people out as best we can. Now, obviously, not everyone can be evacuated, but yes, material things are important, but they're not. They can be recaptured. I believe that
can be materialized.
Exactly. I believe that we came here, and I believe that we're spirit beings, and we inhabit this 3-dimensional body that's shifting quickly. But we chose to come into this earth plane and to live a life on earth. But we did not choose to come in to live a life of suffering. We chose, and we're meant to live an abundant life, a life of vibrant health, a life with lots of delicious delights, lots of abundance, including money.
Yes.
And great love. And oh my goodness, I love jewelry. I was meant to have lots of jewelry. All of these things, yes. And
whatever brings you joy.
Exactly.
It's whatever brings whatever joy, you can have it, and because it can be created, because that's all that is. It's about, it's creating and having the experience is the awakening process.
Exactly. And knowing that there is plenty. If I have a beautiful emerald, that doesn't mean that you can't have one too.
Right.
You know, there's plenty, but somehow on Earth, we begin to think that the Earth is finite. Now, resources are finite, I get that, but I'm speaking in the bigger picture here. So if I have wonderful, wonderful things, that doesn't mean that you can't. I'm not using that up because we're constantly creating more. And, you know, I get that the earth, that the mother at this point has some things that are finite, which is why we want to move to renewable energy sources and why we don't take trees down. I had an experience this, no, not this birthday, the last birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I celebrate my birthday in a very big way, and a very spiritual way. So last year, 2016, I decided what I wanted to do for my birthday was to go to a crystal mine and bring a crystal up from the mama. So yes, I was in Arkansas, and I was part of a crystalline choir, a Lemurian choir. We activated the crystalline grid. We activated the diamond grid of the planet. But I went to a mine, and I would walk and look, and people were digging, and then we got together, and someone said, "Oh my God, where did you find that?" Well, right here. Well, I just walked right there.
There.
So I got to the point where I would just walk and say, "Who'd like to come home with me? Please come. Let me see you. Show yourself."
Right.
And crystals would come popping up. I mean, they would just pop up and pop up like everywhere. And it was very incredible. So yes, I understand that we need renewable resources because some things are finite. But part of me says, if we are in energetic coherence with the divine, can we not create a space where things are not finite?
From my perspective, okay, beloved, is that when we are in alignment with what is divine, what is source, there is only an infinite abundance of possibilities. And even this idea that have Mother Earth has limitations is a limitation on what is truly present. We still, as we talk about, you don't want to make it time linear.
Right.
We're still talking about our soul's journey and the cosmic consciousness of shifting and evolving, still in this tiny little, box, I feel, of what is really multidimensional going on simultaneously. Like as my kids were growing up, I would sort of say to them, okay, it's like you're an actor, okay? And you're playing the role of Faith Best, and you're playing the role of Destiny Best, and I'm playing the role of your mom, and right now we're on like channel 2. But if you flick to channel 3, you're doing something else. You're like Meryl Streep, you're flicking to channel 4 and you're playing the role as well as Meryl Streep does in every single one. And it's happening simultaneously. And this is when you have those moments where you go, wow, don't I know you? Because if you flick the channel, you were acting out that part right with that person. But how do we explain that with our little, our tiny little pea brain and perception in this reality? We have yet to do it, but the internet and technology is doing their best to demonstrate to us what is actually already in existence, that we can be on multiple web pages at the same time. We can be texting everybody. So there is totally, I would say, absolutely, there's an infinite amount of resources. It's still our mindset that things are limited.
I absolutely agree with you, 100%. Everything is abundant. Yes.
You heard it here,
Exclamation
right here
point
at the
on
Journey
there.
to Awakening. Beloved and Jacqueline have declared it.
We just need to be on that timeline.
Mhm.
You know? And it's all simultaneous.
Yeah.
And we are the ones that limit